On October 7th, Hamas attacked Israel, which resulted in more than 1,160 deaths and many being taken and held hostage. My name is Layla Ali, and I am 13 years old. Though I do not live in Gaza, this still impacts my life in the West Bank, 58 miles away. The current war between Israel and Hamas has a significant influence on my life and continues to every day. The history of conflict between Palestine and Israel goes way back. My mom has always told me how it was rough when she was growing up because of how she was Palestinian, and how Israel was always had more power because Palestine is a nation without a state. What I remember hearing is that during the Holocaust, many Jews fled Europe and had no place to live. I also heard from her that the UN had a plan to create two separate states, one for Arabs and one for Jews. The day that the Jewish state, known as Israel, declared independence, the 5 surrounding Arab countries attacked. I remember being told that it never got any better from there. Israel won that war and expanded its border more than the UN had originally proposed for the original Israeli country. Though I hear my parents talk about a lot of aspects about the war, their biggest concern seems to be with settlements. Settlements are living spaces Jews create in the West Bank. I find it annoying because even though I know that the West Bank is technically Israeli land, it still feels like my home. It feels like every day when I come home, my dad is always talking about how many more new settlements are being built all throughout where we live, trying to make it possible for a Palestinian state, which is all I've hoped for since I learned what that could mean. I'm anxious for what is going to happen in the future to all of us Palestinians and what could happen to me. The Israelis are purposely putting settlements all over where we live, trying to make it impossible for a future Palestinian state. It's working for them and it's not good. A few years ago, there was an apartment complex right next to my house, and I became friends with one of the girls living there. One day, the Israelis came and forced the residents in that complex to leave, and I had to watch my friend go. Now, whenever I want to walk anywhere, I have to go all the way around the neighborhood instead of straight through because of all the Israeli security guards and policemen. My personal experience with this war has not been great. For my family to access the main roads, we have to pass checkpoints filled with Israeli policemen and security guards. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to get through, sometimes it takes 45 minutes. It all depends on the cop and what kind of mood they are in. I vividly remember when my sister had a medical emergency and we had to get to the hospital immediately, but we had to pass through Israeli checkpoints. I remember my mom fully explaining the situation and how my sister's life was on the line, and the look that the Israeli security guard gave her, filled with carelessness and completely unempathetic. I have also had to get used to hearing the sound of sirens frequently, and every time I hear one, I get anxious. My grandma was also sadly taken by the Israelis and is being held hostage. I worry about her every day, and I don't even know if she's still alive. My best friend's mom was also killed after she was injured in an attack. My best friend has to live with us now. My hopes for this war is that it can have a peaceful ending, even though that is not really looking like a possibility right now, especially because of all the past conflict between these two countries. What I wish for most out of all of this is for a Palestinian state, a place where I can live, where I'm not worried if my home is going to be bombed, roads that I can access without having to get my car checked, and being able to go to school again and see my friends consistently. I hope that my future kids will be able to grow up here and not have to worry about the stuff that I do, and can have a normal childhood. I hope they can grow up with their own Palestinian state and even more